Hello, Math 161 students. I wanted to just walk you through the course. It looks a little different because I'm on my iPad, but it's the easiest way for me to make a video. So first, let's take a look at the syllabus. I certainly want you to read all of this, but I'll also walk you through it, just make sure you've got the most important points. There's me, Mulheron is my name, and my email is right there. That is absolutely the best way to contact me. I have a campus phone, but please don't call it. I really didn't want them to give me a campus phone, but they did anyway. So I went ahead and listed it there. But unless we email and talk about you calling me, which we probably won't because I'd rather just talk to you over Zoom, don't use that phone number. My office is on the Midlothian campus in Eliades, E220D. It's tucked away in the back left corner. I will be there on these days. Monday and Wednesday mornings, I'll just be in the T203 suite because that's where all of the math classes are. I won't go over to my office before my 9:30, but Tuesday and Thursday I'll be in my office, and Thursday I'll be in the ARC. Any of these times listed, I'm also happy to hop on a Zoom call. I know that a lot of you are taking an asynchronous course because you don't come to campus. So if you want to talk to me, don't feel like it has to be in person. And if these times don't work for you, just email me and we can arrange a time. So I will respond to messages within 24 hours. I'm pretty good at that. And then if it's the weekend, it'll be more like 48 hours. So you definitely need a computer for the completion of this asynchronous course. You can see the library to check out a computer if you don't have one. You do need a calculator for this class. You need the TI-30XIIS. I included the Amazon link for that in a message I sent out earlier this week, but you can just go on Amazon and search. I think they also sell it in the bookstore. You cannot use a graphing calculator. So there's our description and schedule. You can read through that if you're, super excited to see all the great things we're gonna learn this semester. And there are some college dates that you might want to keep an eye on. I also included these in our modules. Learning outcomes, evaluation and grading. You're gonna have 30% of your grade as homework. Your homework is through an online system called Lumen. You do not have to do anything special to access it. You will access it through Canvas. I'll show you that, but just be aware. You will open the assignment and you will work on the questions. You have an unlimited number of attempts to get a question correct. It will at some point give you new numbers for the same type of question, but you are not limited on being able to complete the homework. You can always work and work and work until you get 100% up to the due date. There will be 4 tests. The average of the tests is 70% of your grade. There will be 3 unit tests and a final exam. The final exam is cumulative. It does not count more than the other 3 tests unless it is higher than one of your 3 tests. Then it will replace the lower test grade. And this your lowest test grade could be a 0 if you missed a test. The instance where it would not replace the lowest test grade is if the lowest test grade was a 0 because of academic dishonesty. Your lowest homework grade will be dropped. It's already in your grade. Late passes. I'm very generous. You have 20 late passes to use through the semester. I totally understand that you signed up for an asynchronous course. Maybe you thought the course was self-paced. I am required to have weekly assignments due for attendance purposes. So there are weekly assignments due. And I'll talk about that all in the attendance section. But you do have 20 late passes. There's my info on the final exam, which I was already talking about. You have a final exam testing window, and there is the grading scale. In each module, you'll find discussion boards for homework help where you can post a question that you're struggling with, and another student, or perhaps if someone else posted a question, you could try to help them out for extra credit on a homework assignment. And there's some additional information about that. If you do not follow the testing policies, you'll get a 0. Testing in this course should be done at the testing center. It can be done at the Midlothian Testing Center or at the Chester Testing Center. You will create your testing appointments the first week of classes. You can do that by clicking the Chester Testing Center or Midlothian Testing Center links that are just on the side of your Canvas navigation. If you cannot come to campus to test, you may email me with your reason of why you can't come, and then we can talk about Zoom testing. I will tell you that Zoom testing is a lot more complicated, and Zoom testing will be taking an online test, which has different numbers that could be harder than the in-person test, which is given on paper. If you are testing in person, all you have to do is show up to the testing center. They give you your paper test. You have your pencil and calculator. You do your test, you hand it to them, and you leave. There is no complicated process. If you're testing on Zoom, there's a whole lot more to it. And again, you're going to be taking the test online, which has its own challenges. Here is the information for the testing centers with their hours. Please show your work. I will make it very clear if there's a question that does not require work. I'll put no work required. If you don't show work, then you likely won't get any credit depending on what the problem is. If you show work that is not what we have been doing in 161, and I don't want to make that sound like you can't look up online different ways to do a problem. That's not my issue. My issue is basically when people are just doing the AI methods to solve a problem that are totally different than what we're talking about. I get, especially with the Zoom testing, I get nervous that there is some cheating going on. So please just stick to what we're doing. And if you have a question where you're like, hey, I watched this video and it's different, that's fine. Just run it by me to make sure that I'm good with the method. And if you're using AI on your homework, which I really don't want you to do, I'd rather you reach out to me for help. But just because sometimes it just gets wonky in the way it solves things. So don't cheat. All that. Okay, attendance. Something that is commonly misunderstood. This is an asynchronous course. It is not self-paced. You need to complete weekly assignments so that you are marked present for 1 attendance point per week. It's pretty easy to be marked present. All you have to do is complete one of the 2 mandatory assignments up to 50%. And I have that down here. If you score at least a 50%, you will be marked present. If you score less than a 50%, you will get a full absence. When I say a 50%, that means what is in the grade book, not just that you clicked through half of the questions. So it will sync with the grade book as you do the questions. So don't be alarmed if you do a few problems and then step away and you see in the grade book you have like a 15%. As long as we're still before the due date, then you can keep working on that. Or you can use a late pass to keep working on it. If you have 4 absences before October 27th, you will be withdrawn from the course. If you have extenuating circumstances, please talk to me, and those would be handled through the Dean of Students. Your 20 late passes do not count for attendance. So the idea behind the late passes is maybe you didn't have enough time that week, you did one of the 2 assignments up to 50% to get your attendance point. Now you want to use your late pass so that you can bring that 50% up to 100, or so that you can do the other one that you didn't touch at all. But you still got your attendance point because you did 1 assignment up to 50%. You can withdraw before October 27th. Any kind of mitigating circumstances should be discussed with me. Please go to the ARC. They're fabulous. And obviously ask me and come to my office hours, but the ARC is a great, great place to go for tutoring. You can't go there for tests, but you're not taking tests in the ARC, so that's shouldn't be confusing at all. Please don't use AI. If you're using it to see how it solves a homework problem, I can see that. But again, I just worry that it's gonna be different, perhaps more confusing, perhaps introducing symbols differently than what we're using. And I just want you to succeed in the course and not be further confused by AI. The health and safety stuff doesn't really apply to you because we're an asynchronous course. So now, in the announcements, there is an announcement every week. These are not posted yet. But you can see the week 1 expectations. This is where you will find what I would like you to complete for attendance. It's very straightforward. It's complete one of the 2 homeworks up to 50%. The first week's a little different because we do have 2 introductory assignments. Intro to my open math it's just walking you through how to use Lumen, how to type things in. That should take you like 10 minutes. The intermediate algebra diagnostic should not take you over an hour to get a 50% on. It is required for you to get at least a 50%. You don't have to get more than a 50%, and it doesn't count towards your grade. So don't waste your time doing too much. Just get your 50% and move on. And it is the idea behind the algebra diagnostic is to make sure that you will be successful in this class, because I don't want anyone to feel completely overwhelmed and be in a position where they cannot be successful. So if you are doing the algebra diagnostic and you feel like you are in the wrong course because you are not prepared, please talk to me and we will work out what we can do so that you are in a course you can be successful in. You can see below attendance for the week. In blue, it says you must complete homework 1.1 or homework 1.2 up to 50% by 8:31 at 11:59 p.m. to be counted present for attendance this week. So look at the weekly announcement. Every single one of them lays out exactly what I'm expecting. Please go to modules to see all of the fabulous course content. And in the week 1 module, you can find the overview of all the great stuff we're learning this week. You can see the first assignments. Those are just for week 1. And then the lecture notes with a video lecture. I would encourage you to print the notes if possible, and then watch the video and fill them out as you go. And then your 2 homework assignments. Again, they're due August 31st. You need to get one of them up to 50%. And then if you need to use late passes, then that would extend them by another week. I cannot cap the assignments like at a certain point in time. So I will say, use your late passes wisely, and if you wait on some of the homework so that you're completing them after you already tested on the material, you're not doing yourself any favors. So if I could, I would say, hey, you can't do these after the test, but I can't prevent you from that. So, you know, use your late passes wisely. All of the weeks are posted. All of the sections are open. You can get started on them. Please complete the testing information module. It has the assignment where you will go through and schedule your tests, take a screenshot from Register Blast, and submit it. Please do not just type when you're taking your tests. I don't know that you actually signed up if you just say, I'm going to take test 1 on this day. Please actually take a screenshot from Register Blast. If you have any issues signing up, let me know. I'm happy to help you. There's also a syllabus quiz, which is literally just asking, did you read the syllabus? So please read the syllabus, maybe watch this video, and let me know if you have any questions. I am always available. I want you to be successful in this course.